This season preview is brought to you by Manscaped's brand new Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. This luxurious lather cleanses and nourishes in just one step. Using coconut water, green tea, and aloe, this non-greasy daily formula is naturally hydrating and rich in antioxidants to revitalize the look and feel of your hair. So head on over to manscaped.com and use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. The new Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner from Manscaped. Take care of hair everywhere.
Next team that we're getting into is the Houston Texans, the third place team last season in the AFC South, looking to continue their progression and moving forward. And on offense, they are led by Davis Mills, Brandon Cooks, and possibly DAMEON PEARCE. We all like DAMEON PEARCE this year. But Aaron, when we look at this Texans offense and the progression, what's something that you would like to see from the Texans to give those fans that hope, say, okay, we are moving in the right direction on the offensive side of the ball? What do you want to see?
You have to see progression from Davis Mills, a guy that maybe you didn't think originally was going to be the guy. But when you drafted him, there were people talking about him that he could be the guy. You take him in the third round, similar to a Malik Willis or something like that. And then he starts to play and he does okay. And you're like, maybe we do have a guy that can be our long-term answer and we don't need to spend our assets on a future one. I think you have to see that progression from Davis Mills continue this season. He wasn't overly – we talked a lot about him last year because he kept them in games, but he wasn't doing anything really special. And I think that's what we're always looking for in a franchise quarterback. And if he can't be special, then you can't waste 3 or 4 years on him. And I'll just say it. Teams do not want guys that are just going to be mediocre at the starting quarterback position. So the minute you get the mindset of, oh, this guy can't be special, you have to move on. Otherwise, you're just setting your franchise back, just wasting years away. And then you get players leaving in free agency and you have to start rebuilding again. And it's a whole nother mess you have to deal with. So I think you're looking for Davis Mills to take that next step. I think it starts with being able to read defenses better and be more productive throwing the football. He wasn't highly productive. He only threw 16 touchdowns last year to 10 picks. Not very efficient. I think he just has to show that he's going to get better this year significantly, not just like, oh, he looked a little bit better. Now it's 19 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. It's got to be, oh, this guy could be a star, where we're looking at him. He's seeing things differently on the field, and he's actually starting to be the reason they win games and not the reason they're not losing games, if that makes sense.
That's it. You know, that's the part that's the biggest thing with it is you want to see Davis Mills win them football game, like be the difference maker at the end of the day. Not every game has to be a Davis Mills takeover game, but you do want to be able to see that those moments from him where it's okay, we're putting it all on Davis Mills. Go out there and see what you can do. And when we get into the schedule, we'll talk with them. I'm going to revisit this conversation. But on the defensive side of the ball, AJ,
I was going to say something about what was I going to say? Damn it, I forgot. Oh, I lost it. I had it. Oh, no. I lost it. No, I lost it. Yeah, I've been moving too fast. I knew you were going to move into the defense one, and I was like, I had one more point, and it was so good.
Was it about Brandon Cooks? Was it about DAMEON PEARCE? Was it about Davis Mills?
It was still about Davis Mills, and I lost it. It slipped out. Wow, just move on. Sorry, Houston Texans fans. I did have a really good point about Davis Mills, and for whatever reason, it just flew out the window. I will find it, and I'll get back to you later.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, now that that's over, on the defensive side of the ball, AJ, what player or maybe players are you most excited to see on this defense?
You know, the good part about this is a lot of people will warn you from doing what I'm about to do, but this is a team that is in dire need of a new culture, and they are in the midst of a rebuild. And so their rookie pieces are very important. And I look directly at a guy like Jalen Petrie and a guy like Derek Stingley Jr. These are two guys that are not just uber talented. They also have that winning mentality. They also have those intangibles that brings a different change of the culture into a locker room. And that's the first thing, if you ask me, that the Houston Texans need is a change in mentality, a change in culture. But when you talk about on the field type of things, Jalen Petrie was a guy at Baylor who they loved there. Played the star position is what they called it, being versatile and quick and being able to wear a bunch of different hats. This was a guy who was a thumper. I love the way he hits. I love the way he wraps up. This is a guy who gets in the backfield over and over again. Had 18.5 tackles for loss in his last season at Baylor. And then you think about Derek Stingley, and you don't have a lot of tape on him, and he still went third, though. So think of that. They've seen enough in this guy to know that he's a rare talent, possibly generational at the cornerback position, and can be the type of guy that comes in and they set that secondary and start from the back end. And now next season when they're back at it, they're looking at linebackers, they're looking at front end guys to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, I like all of the potential that these young guys are coming in with. Derek Stingley being the guy. I told you guys in our draft process where everyone was really high, and rightfully so, on Sauce Gardner. And I mean, I think Derek Stingley was the best cornerback in this draft class, and I think he's going to end up being the best cornerback in this draft class and being one of the cornerstones of this Houston Texans team.
We'll save that debate for another day. I don't hate it. I told you I like Derek Stingley. I don't hate it.
Fair enough.
He's not the best, but I don't hate it.
No. Well, let's get back into that schedule talk. I told you I wanted to kind of revisit where you had with the Houston Texans, Aaron and Davis Mills. You look at their schedule. What parts of the schedule might we see some surprise wins from the Houston Texans? Maybe it's those games that Davis Mills steps up in and says, I'm that dude. I'm QB1. This is my team.
Yeah, I actually have them beating 3 really good football teams this year. They don't have a lot of wins for me, and we'll get into my record prediction a little bit later, but they do beat 3 really good football teams. They beat the Colts week 1, they beat the Raiders, and they beat Philly. I think they beat all 3 of those teams. So yes, I think but I don't know that's because of Davis Mills. And I think that's what my reluctancy comes in with Houston is I'm not sure if he is going to be the reason they're actually winning games, or is it going to be, Brandon Cooks goes off one game, their defense plays really well, and DAMEON Pearce has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So because I don't think he's the type of quarterback that is going to cost them many wins. It's not like he's going to go throw 4 or 5 picks in a game. I don't think they will use him that way. I don't think that's the type of quarterback he is. But again, he has to be the reason they're actually going out and winning these close games, especially. They actually had a number of close games last year to start that they kind of gave up. They did pull a few off, which we were surprised. You talked about culture change earlier, AJ, with the defense. And I think the culture started changing last year, and not just from a defensive perspective, but just throughout that organization. When even though it was a one and done for a previous head coach, and then you bring in a Lovie Smith, I think that culture had already started to be changed. We saw them get wins they weren't supposed to get. We saw them playing in tight games against good football teams. We saw a different mindset. The Deshaun Watson, the DeAndre Hopkins stuff was all gone. The front office wasn't being talked about as being whatever. And I think that's what we take another step further this year. We get to see a team that's continuing to grow. And Texans fans, despite what you say on YouTube, yes, when you say you're going to shock some teams, that doesn't equate to wins. What it does equate to is you are starting to build something where we look at your team now and we say that's a team in 2 years that can compete either in the AFC South or just overall in the NFL and get a few more wins than they have in the past. So they're still a quarterback away. That might be Davis Mills, that might not. But until they find that guy, and I'll say this about every football team in the NFL, until you find your franchise quarterback, I don't really want to hear it. You might get lucky. Their teams get lucky. Jimmy G took the Niners to the Super Bowl. You might get lucky, but until you find your franchise quarterback, you will not have sustained success in the NFL. It's just not happening. Rams went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and guess what they did? Said, you know what? That's not our franchise quarterback. I'm going to go get Matt Stafford. And the team turned around like that. Like
right away.
In an instant, they're Super Bowl champions because of the talent of Matthew Stafford. So you have to find that franchise guy. Houston should be dedicating every resource to finding that franchise guy. If that's Davis Mills, great. If it's not, go get the next one.
Yep. Yeah, and you're not saying Davis Mills can't be, but you have to have it for
you. He has to show it.
You have to have it. AJ, what are you watching for most this season with the Texans?
It's kind of difficult, but what I'm watching for is what position group surprises us over the season. The best thing that could happen for this Houston Texans rebuild is there are some guys that maybe they're young, maybe they're just close enough to be able to re-sign or bring back, that just overperform and you feel comfortable that they can do it again next season. Because then when you get into the draft, when you get into free agency, that's one less asset that you have to allocate to getting that in your locker room. So I'm looking to see if it's some of this linebacker depth that they have. I'm looking to see if there's a receiver in a Nico Collins or, Chris Conley, who's old as shit. But if a Nico Collins basically can step up and be next to Brandon Cooks and actually be a solid go-to target for Davis Mills. Can Brevin Jordan be the tight end that we were excited about when he got his chance coming into Houston? So things like that, having these type of players that you're not expecting to see much from, but then actually have a solid year that can set them up next season, that they don't really have to worry about that. That's almost the only other thing I'm interested in besides the defensive players I told you about earlier.
AJ, do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with me? You need to get off your chest or something? Because if you
Why?
keep disrespecting these players that either went to the UGA, I'm now a Georgian, man. I thought you was an Atlanta boy. I thought you was a Hawk and a Falcon, and now you just throwing Chris Conley under the bus like he's old and ancient. He's 29. Matter of fact, he's the same age, damn near as rookie Velus Jones Jr. from the Bears, and you calling him old. Stop.
You call Velus Jones old, so what does that make?
Stop disrespecting my Georgian folks. UGA Chris Conley, stand up.
He will stand up. It may take him a little bit with them knees, but he will stand up.
Oh my goodness. This is unbelievable.
You brought it out. You made me do it.
All right. The Georgia hate, man. I represent Georgia.
There's no
day,
Georgia
baby.
hate. Ain't no Georgia hate.
UGA when I'm in that press box week 1, baby. UGA Bulldog.
Gross.
Wait a second. Chris Conley was born in Turkey. You guys know that?
Yes.
I did not know that. But
I didn't know that.
Born in Turkey, went to UGA.
Yeah, he went to North Paulding High School in Georgia, somewhere in Georgia, wherever that may be. Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Come on,
the more you know about Chris Conley.
Hey, I've been here 2 months, and I know about my peoples. I got to represent for them.
All right, where's North Paulding High School?
I am not sure actually where the high school's at.
Fun fact, it's in Dallas, Georgia.
Okay, well, Dallas, Georgia is not in Southwest Georgia. I can tell you that.
I couldn't tell you where Dallas, Georgia is. So
probably on the northern side of Georgia.
That does it
north of Atlanta.
That does it for our Georgia history and our Georgia geography class here. Let's get into our prop bets for the Houston Texans.
Whoa. You're all over the place. You went to the schedule. Now you're going back to the prop bets before we give our records?
Yeah, because the prop bets talk about the records, and then we get into the records.
This is why we don't do it this way. You're messing up my clipping. Because I clip when we start the schedule talk.
You clip the whole damn show.
No, you don't understand. We got
record predictions for the Houston Texans here. AJ, what do you have?
You're reeling in a fish.
What do you have the Texans going this season?
I have them at 4-13.
Are you guessing, or is that where you got them, fool?
That's what I had way back when, and I feel pretty solid about it.
Houston Texans will go 5-12. Do you need analysis? I told you they'd beat the Colts, the Raiders.
I mean,
4-13 Houston Texans. Aaron, am I allowed to go to the prop bets now?
Yeah, man, you just got to get this order thing right, bro. You can't bring up the schedule because that's exactly where I clipped to put the promotion for Manscaped. And by the way, if you go get your Manscaped, type in that promo code Sack City, get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Go ahead, Vinny.
Prop bets for the Houston Texans over 4.5 wins is plus 100. And Aaron, that's your locked-in bet because we already heard you have them at 5 wins. So there you go.
Just because I have them at 5 wins don't mean that's my lock. I didn't say it's a lock for 5. I have them at 5.
It's your lock now. It's your lock now. You are no longer in this segment. AJ. All right. Over 4.5 wins is at plus 100. Over 3,600.5. Davis Mills passing yards at plus 100, and over 82.5 Brandon Cooks receptions are at minus 115. AJ, what's your locked and loaded bet here for the Texans?
I will take the Brandon Cooks over 82.5 receptions. I know I spoke about wanting to see if somebody steps up. Even if they do, I don't think it's to the point where they'll take that away from Brandon Cooks. He had 90 receptions last season, 81 receptions the season before. He's a go-to guy, and he's consistent, and that's why we love Brandon Cooks. So I have no problem betting on him. Even if he lets me down, I feel safe about it because he's shown it for me before.
Mr. Safety, Brandon Cooks. Aaron, what's your locked and loaded bet?
Oh, I'm invited back now?
We're invited back because you cried.
I mean, I'm going to take a nap, bro. You know I'm tired. Anyway, I'm going to – can you put the Davis Mills number back up there? Yeah, to me, it's always plus money if you can get a good bet. I'm taking the over on 3,600 passing yards. I think Davis Mills can get there. I really do. I think they're behind a lot, right? They're a team that's not going to win a lot. They're going to be behind. I think that'll bode well for him in his yardage. Last year he threw for, I believe, like 26, 27, 28, somewhere around there. And he only played, he only started 11 games. So I'll take 6 more games of 200 yards passing. That's 1,200 more yards. It's about 3,800. That's on the low end. So give me Davis Mills the over.
There's a lot of math there. There's a lot of math going on.
I'm a mathematician with the F.
He's a mathlete.
He's a mathlete.
You're a mathlete. All right, mathlete. Tell us where we have the Houston Texans in our preseason power rankings.
Yeah, this one is not very hard. You obviously know they're at the bottom. They're in a rebuilding process. The Houston Texans coming at number 29. We talked about the growth that we want to see from Davis Mills. The defense has a lot of young pieces that could get better that we expect to start producing, but I don't know that takes place this year. They're playing in the AFC. They got some tough games. It's going to be a struggle as far as wins, but we are encouraged for what the Houston Texans have. We have the Houston Texans at number 29 on our preseason power rankings.